This is the first edition of Sunday Brunch, a video series that's going to be on Let's Camp Some More, both our YouTube page and on letscampsomemore.com. I'm sitting here with Ken, and Ken doesn't own a pop-up. We own a pop-up, and we camp with people who do pop-ups. And but he brings this hybrid, and he hangs out with us because we were actually at this campground, Shabbona. When was that, about a year ago?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly a year ago. And he ended up just getting the last site in between all the pop-up campers. And so we've just kind of adopted him, and now he's he just hangs out with us. And he's a camper. He camps in a hybrid. The people we're camping with this weekend are also in a hybrid. So not necessarily a pop-up camper, which is normally the group we run with, but certainly a camper. And, you know, camping's camping. There's no wrong way to do it. So we're just going to sit, we're going to talk about camping, we're going to talk about the things you do when you go camping, and stuff like that. So where were you this last week?
I was actually at an amateur astronomy convention. We call them star parties. They're regional events that are catered to amateur astronomers who want to try to get away from the city lights. And it's difficult to do that when you're on your own, right? You don't want to go to a field or potentially private property somewhere very far away and then find out that you can't be there. And usually public property, like state parks and things, have a lot of people and lights and campfires and things, which are really bad. So we set up these events. We rent out the entire place, and we know when we're going to go. And I came from one that was about an hour from here. We had a decent time, but the weather didn't cooperate this weekend.
And when you go, it's 100% outside.
Correct.
And you just bring your campers and tents and stuff?
Most people will tent camp. Very rarely are they close enough to municipal areas where somebody will go and like stay in a hotel and commute. But the gist is to stay in the group with tents and campers and things like that. And unfortunately, when the weather comes through, people get discouraged because as amateur astronomers don't necessarily camp all the time, right? There's a niche. If you go to these star parties, that you enjoy the outdoors and that you're a camper. And so I've met like-minded people through the hobby, but then there's those that don't care for it too much, and they're the ones that
they're only camping because they're there for the star party, and if the star party is a rain out, they're not about camping.
Correct. They have no interest in staying it out or roughing it out or anything like that. If there are no stars in the near future for the next day or two, pack it up and go home.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this event is kind of intimate. There's just a small group of us, and when we saw the weather forecast, everyone said, "Okay, we're packing up and we're leaving."
Yeah.
Well, it's only Saturday, and I enjoy astronomy, but I also enjoy
camping,
and I'm trying to figure out which one I enjoy more. But when I heard that was happening, I said, okay, I'm not going to be the only one left on the field in the middle of nowhere during a rainstorm, so I'm going to go and find another place.
Yeah, and we just happened to be camping here, and we had said through one of the social media platforms we participate on, I think Facebook specifically this time, that, everybody, we're going to be in Shabbona, and so Ken had said, if it gets rained out, we'll come out. And
I knew you were here, and it's actually on my way home, and it's exactly how I met you guys a year ago.
Yeah.
So I said, why would it not happen again this way? So
sure.
I came in, and I had a little trouble with my site, but
the first one he backed into, the power pole wasn't working. So,
but naturally, I don't find that out until after I've leveled the thing.
So a tip to everybody who's new to camping: when you get to your site, the first thing you do is check the power pole to make sure it's active. Also, make sure you use the actual cable that runs to your camper, because maybe we have some friends, Peggy, who plugged the wrong cable in, and then you spend 40 minutes troubleshooting why your power doesn't work, and it's because it's the extension cord and not the actual cable. So
always learning.
Yeah, that's
always
right.
learning.
So we've always got some experiences with that. So yeah, check your pole. A little night light works really well, just to tell you if there's actually power at the thing. Or I've seen the cords themselves, as soon as you plug it in, the head of the cord will light up and tell you that it's active. We happen to use a surge protector because, you know, campgrounds have pretty sloppy power. So we use a surge protector. We plug the surge protector in, and it does a number of checks on the line before we plug our camper in. But we know almost immediately if the pole is safe. So that's what we do. Do we have, my wife is holding the camera, do we have a link to that on any of our blog?
We will add that to our camping essentials.
Yeah, so check camping essentials on letscampsmore.com, and you can find out where you can get one of those.
We got it on Amazon.
Yeah, we got it on Amazon, which we happen to be affiliate of, so buy through us, I guess. Yeah.
Well, and you know, we briefly were talking about cost earlier, but you know, I'll say this, that having something like that saving you an hour and a half of not just time, but physical labor, working time,
Yes.
Is worth its weight in gold, right?
Yeah.
You're here on
Yeah.
vacation, you're here to enjoy yourself, and when something like that happens, spend the money. Don't cheap out. And,
Yeah. I think we got it because if a surge comes through the line, it can eat up your electronics in your camper, and you don't want to have to spend a weekend without power and then having to fix your camper. So
We've had some issues over the years from various...
various campgrounds. I mean, the power is, you know, it's like anything else, you know, the power varies on quality wherever we stay. So, and we're cooking in what I call the camp crock pot. So in our Dutch oven, we got chicken and vegetables in there. So the cool thing about that is you just throw everything in there. You can check out, we have camping recipes on Let's Camp Some More.
That recipe's on there. It's super simple and easy. It's a great recipe that our friends Robin and Brad Brown told us about.
Yep.
So, yes.
So yeah, so there you go. So first conversation, just, you know, we'll see how this evolves over time, and you know, enjoy your camping.